Hello,
Hey.
hello, world. Hey,
Hi.
JP and Kaufna.
Hey, Heather, and hey, people. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for watching. We are here celebrating the upcoming event, The Field, that is going to be happening in Maui in JP and Kaufna's living room. And we have a really cool question from somebody today, right? That we
Yeah.
got JP on a call earlier. And the question is there an actual field? Right?
Yeah.
These are like basic things to know
Yeah,
about the
they're like,
event.
it's called the field, but you keep talking about your living room. Is your
Yeah.
living room a field? You know?
Is your living room a field? So
Um,
there is, it's a personal development event, everybody. We're going to be sitting inside the living room, but you know, I think it's really cool that you do have a field on your property. So the
mhm.
answer technically is yes, there is a field, isn't there?
Yes, there is a
There
field.
is.
Yes. If you'd like to walk across our field, it would take you about 2.5 minutes, and you're welcome to do that. It's a small
Yeah.
field, and there's fruit trees. But it's a metaphor. It's largely a metaphor. Yeah, for a number of things. For a field, like in the sense of a physical field, it's that metaphor. It's also like a field of energy, that metaphor. So
Yeah.
we're using the word field to represent all that stuff. And if you come on the hike on Friday, which I think everybody so far that signed up is, I
Yeah.
talked to somebody today who's going to be coming that isn't coming. I didn't tell you about that yet to the hike, but um, there is a physical field we'll be hiking through, a lava field in the center of a crater. So that is actually quite dramatic, a dramatic field, because like it's like being on a different planet. It's not like a typical field that you walk across. So
Yeah.
It looks like Mars.
so yeah, so there may be an actual field too, depending on if
Yeah.
you're here for the hike.
So yes, at the event you can access a couple different actual fields, but what we would love to describe today is what the focus of the event, what we'll actually be doing, right, together in
Yes.
your living room, right?
Mhm.
So as a little update, the event is happening in the Casa de Morgan, but people will be staying off campus, right?
Yeah,
You
off
get
Yes.
your
campus.
own
Yes.
off
Yeah.
campus. You get
Yeah.
your own Airbnb, you get your own hotel. But the event will be from, morning until evening for four full days, plus the fifth
Mm.
day if you do the hike to the lava field.
Mhm.
And so let's talk about a little bit about like what actually happens at a JP event.
Mm. Yeah. I ask people questions and then they start answering, and then it kind of unfolds. I mean, I always have a plan and a structure in mind. I've got like kind of 4 stages, there's a kind of presenting of an instigating of a higher possibility in your life. And that really the point of that is to just instigate fear and shadow and obstacle, right? Because
Yeah.
we want to set you free, but not like randomly. We want to set you free in the context of what it is that you would love to create in your life. So if it is that if you're similar industry to myself and you want to be a successful coach, then it's like, well, what does that look like? What would be fucking amazing? And then okay, now go do it. And it's like then it's like, cool, that's what we're here to work with. And then there's a whole focus on the liberation from that, and that's usually at least a whole day, if not more. And then through that liberation, we're helping people to find out what it is. Like my simple belief is that like we're only afraid of something if we're called to it, and if we're called to it, then there's something true in us that is here to do that. And so once we get free of the fear part of it, we're left with like the gold. We burn away the dross, and the gold of who we actually are is left. And so being able to isolate that and see that and name that and speak that as a declaration of who you are and feel the resonance of it is where we're really aiming for. That's the kind of the heart of the work, that transmutation. And then the last and final piece is I'm also a very practical person. So once you do this deep work and you connect with this essence of who you are, what does it actually look like? I say on Monday morning, like, what are you doing in the world and in your business differently because of you being connected with this? And so people walk away with like a real practical implementation, both of the deeper work and of the action in their life that's different. And, and how that happens is I speak and share ideas. I always have new ideas at every event. That's also why the name tends to change, because it's like there's an evolution.
Yeah.
And then I demonstrate that idea and bring it to life through conversation with people. And then after they hear the idea and they see it demonstrated in dialogue with me in the circle, like somebody's in the hot seat, so to speak, I talk with them, we coach, we create. And then we go into exercises. People go into breakouts, they go into peers usually, and they practice that same idea in conversation. Then we come back to circle and people share. Then we have a break and we repeat cycle. And we kind of, so those 4 elements are how we bring all the concepts to life, and we do the work throughout all those stages of transmutation that I shared earlier.
Yeah. This will be my 4th event with you. And what I love is how we apply everything right away. Right. So you teach a concept, you witness, you being in dialogue with other people or sometimes every single person who comes to the event will be in dialogue with you.
Yep.
That's what I love about the size of this event is that every single person will be in dialogue with you, themselves, and each other. Right. So being in dialogue with each other, with the peers after we witness you being in conversation, we get to do it ourselves. There's like no skipping a step. It would be very difficult to not arrive, right? At your
you can't really hide. It's not like you can hide in the back of the room and like do other things. You're going to be absolutely engaged in the whole thing.
Yeah. There's no hiding. You're going to actually apply it to your life. And then, by the end, everyone leaves emerging a new iteration of themselves. Like at the beginning, when we emerge the dreams, they seem so far away. They seem out there. And by the end, I remember at the last Maui event, people were sitting around and talking about what they were going to do next to accomplish that thing or to step into that role. And it reminded me of kids like sitting around talking about a lemonade stand. Like, of course we're doing it. Like this week. Like you set the table up and you get the lemons and you, brings it much closer.
The other thing that I'm excited about for this event is obviously Kalpna being part of it. Like, and the thing that's most exciting for me about that is how what that will mean and look like is emergent. Like, actually, I share the plan for the event to give people a sense of structure, but in reality, like, that's just there just in case I need to, like, I don't know what to do for some reason or like whatever. Like, it's just a little bit of a structure to hold, because actually at the deepest level, I show up just like whatever happens, whatever's occurring, like my heart will know moment by moment where the direction to go is. It's most powerful. And that's not just like, oh, that's just the way I do events. That's like the deepest demonstration of the philosophy, of the creating perspective, of the principle that I'm sharing. And especially for people that are in personal transformation, the message I'm really trying to get across is you can just show up with another human being or a group of human beings with principles like freedom, love, and power, and just meet every moment. And it will be fucking magic and powerful and transformative. And so that's like the real answer about what's going to happen. Like, and now Kalpna being in the mix, I know with absolute certainty that the event's only going to be better because she's there, because I live in the field of her consciousness. And I'm, it's almost like I'm using a political thing right now. She's like the American manufacturer and product designer. And I'm like China. Doing like the rip-off version of it, like, and selling it. Because so much of the stuff that lives in the work comes from our conversations and what she shares. And so I know what she brings. And so I'm excited to see how that informs the dynamic of the event and how it unfolds. I just know, like, obviously I have a lot more to say, and Kalpna's like happy to just like be still and be quiet. But like, I can feel when she's got something to say and isn't saying it.
Yeah.
And so that will happen in the event, and I'll be, okay, Kalpna, what are you saying? What are you thinking? And then she'll say it, and it will take it in a direction it's never gone before, which I think is going to be really cool.
Yeah, a whole new dynamic.
Put you on the spot.
I love listening and just, intuitively, when there is something that needs to be said, it needs to be said for me. I don't.
You could say it. I know who I am.
Talking, what is it?
I know who I am. Yeah.
I don't feel the need to talk so much, but I love I love the way you talk. I love the way you teach, and I love the way you are able to get so deep into a concept. I feel like I'll come up with something, and then you'll take it so much bigger and so much deeper. And then you'll start sharing all the nuances about it, which, sometimes I'm like, oh, wow, I don't really think that, but yeah, that's awesome. You know?
Yeah, it's really beautiful. This connection we have now is like we've stepped into the work together. Like this, like I never really thought of myself as a thought leader. I don't know, for some reason I didn't like that term, but ever since Kalpna's like stepped into the work, I'm like, we're thought leaders, like us taking time to go on a date night is like, or just like having time to think without the kids around, like is the most important time because we're creating ideas. Kalpna said to me one day when she came out of her meditation and channeling, she said she just got the insight that money is love. And I was like, fuck, I've never heard that before. Like, so it's so like, it's so, well, it's not, money is not evil. Money is love. And it was just a powerful idea. And I know it sounds simple, but to really try it on, it's also an idea that's like, it's both simple and almost heretical to the spiritual quest, right? Like in the common sense. And so because it was so heretical, I was really drawn to it. And it's being with that drew me into this concept of love money, which is now central to the work and everything that I'm talking about. And it's like completely aligned with the field because of love and money, like relationship connection, human connection, financial abundance. And it's like they just merge into actually, no, it's one thing, love money. So, but all of that unfolds from her simple insight that she has and shares with me. So that's the dance between us. And I look forward to bringing that to the field.
Yeah.
In my living room.
In your living room.
Yeah.
It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about what people have created in the past from coming to the field.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, we can remember some of the past participants and the shifts we've seen.
Well, something we just saw yesterday. Did you see the announcement from Carrie?
Yes.
Yeah.
So she created that she would love to live in Switzerland, write a book. And I don't know if a baby was part of that.
I don't remember if that was part of the vision, but it ended up part of the solution. Yeah.
It's just about 9 months later, actually.
Right. Oh, wow. She got home from the event and celebrated. Yeah,
got home
cool.
from the event, and we just got a message that a baby's 2 weeks away from being born, and she's been in Switzerland for however many
6 months, I think. Yeah, 4 months. Yeah.
Yeah, and her book is being released. We all get to go download.
Oh wow!
I know.
Yeah.
Imagine that. All that like in 9 months.
In 9 months
since the London event. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an activation.
Yeah.
It is.
It really
Especially
is.
because last time I was pregnant, I couldn't remember how to spell my name. So I'm really impressed that she wrote a book in 9 months.
Yeah, true.
She took that time to create. She's creating in so many different directions. The Maui event last year we came off, and Noah started hosting. He had wanted to host talks, right? And those started rolling out. I just love coming off the event, getting so close to these really incredible people. Every single person that comes is someone that I'd want to know forever. And you get to if you want, right? And but they come out so activated and so sure of who they are, and then they just take action in the world in the way that they had, been scared to do, hadn't thought was the right time, like all the reasons that we have that we don't do the things. Even I find some people hide behind, well, I'm just not sure if it's the right thing. It's like, well, you've had the same idea for a year, maybe.
Right.
It's time to step into it. And so they kind of show up and become the people that do it.
What about you first?
I was just going to say that we talk a lot about what happens with everyone and how powerful they become. But they don't show up like that at the beginning, do they?
Well,
I don't want to say to people that you can only come here if you're powerful, because the whole point is you come here and you discover your power, right? And so there is a courage. You come because you have some courage. You know that you're going to be challenged. Yes. So what do the people look like when they first sit down? Like what? So because my idea is that they are really stuck in something. I'm assuming that they're really, really stuck. They want to get past. They have an idea of what they want to create. They have absolutely no idea how they're going to create it because it just seems too big. The challenges seem too big, and they haven't been able to figure a way out of it, right?
Yeah,
It's not exactly that. I'm sorry.
Go on.
It's some of that. Sorry, what were you going to say, Heather?
I think
It's a little bit.
everyone, they're-
Yeah,
not everyone's in the exact same spot, but everyone
true.
is super excited to see who they would be and what they would do if they were more free.
Yeah.
Every single
Yeah,
person.
yeah, because it's not an event filled of disempowered people. Actually, I think that I scare those people away
Yeah.
because I speak too much, not too much. I speak so deeply to a person's power, and I hold people to such a high bar that the people in the extreme position of I'm totally stuck, I'm totally disempowered, they're like, oh, I think I'll just go see Tony Robbins and sit in the back. They're not going to come to an event like this. And there's still a quality of what you're talking about because they're looking at some possibility for themselves that's like 10 or 100 times greater than where they're at. So it is instigating some uncertainty, or they want to they want to feel that way because they know that more is possible, but they haven't actually called themselves into something great enough yet that would actually confront them to that depth. So yeah, just to be, it's a bit more specific than that. I think that was the point I wanted to make.
I everyone that has been that I've met at the end, they've all been people who have the courage to actually sit there and take responsibility, right, for their life.
It's taking responsibility, but also when you get to this level, I like to talk about they're eager or are looking to be eager, learning how to be eager to bite off more than they can chew, and then figure out how to chew it.
Yeah, like this,
right?
People walking the door at this event, some of them, a majority of them, extremely successful already in their careers, in their families. Like they're not like broken people that have nothing going for them. And sometimes you have somebody that's in that spot in their life because things have just recently fallen apart.
We all have moments.
Yeah, I just want to make the point that like one of the things that stands out about the people that come to our event is they're like largely badasses already.
They're badasses, but they want to be even bigger.
Yeah,
right.
They want their ass to be badder.
They want to be bad.
Well, there's two parts, right? There's the like having something, whether you know what you would love to accomplish or not, you know you are meant for more. Like I'm going to do more than this in my life. Whether you figured out what that is or not. But so that's one for me, half of it. The other half is they're looking to have a really incredible experience of being alive. So come and do that at the event. They want to have a really good time, right? We host them in gorgeous places. We eat amazing food. You're sitting next to people having the deepest conversations of your life. You're here to have a really incredible time. And then through that, expand your capacity to have a really incredible time as you're going after your bigger goals, as you're deepening your relationship at home. Like we are all about enjoying the ride, the roller coaster, the storm, whatever you want to call what the challenge you're taking on, the experience of that. Let's savor it. And so we savor our time at the event together. We savor these relationships as we go out into the world afterwards. And my favorite, I would say my favorite part of this work is the orientation towards savoring life, not just tolerating. Right.
Yeah, that's really, thanks for reminding me of that, to talk about that, because it is something that distinguishes our work in personal development a lot, because, you know, first of all, we are always speaking to, we say, both spiritual growth and material success.
Yeah.
We're not just in one of those boxes. We're like the center of the Venn diagram of those two, always both. Every conversation, every event, every training, everything is both. And it's not, and so what does that mean? Like practical terms, it means making amazing shit happen in your life and enjoying every single fucking moment on the way there, you know? And we hold both of those things as equally valid and important. It's not the journey over the destination or the destination over the journey. It's like both of them at the same time, you know? So that's alive. And I think that, you know, that is, I often talk about that story when I teach the boys to hold the chicks when we hatch them. I'll say it again in case somebody hasn't heard it. When we hatch baby chicks, because we keep chickens here, the boys have to learn to hold the chick tight enough that it doesn't fall, because even from 1 foot it would die. And like but not so tight that you crush it and kill it. So there's this like middle place where it's like you're holding it tightly, but you're not squeezing.
Yes.
And so like that is at the center of so many of the concepts in the work. That's how creation works. I have to hold my vision tightly, but not squeeze it. I don't want attachment, but I also don't want to drop things and lose my focus and lose my attention.
Yeah.
And so that's, we hold both the journey and the destination in that way. And that will be, that's why the events are also fun, because not like, we're going to do the work, man.
Yeah.
And not enjoy it.
Get miserable to get out of it. But what you're describing is a way of being that you model and that we practice here, together at the event, that applies to every area of life.
100%.
Every single thing. So yes, like, right now you have a workshop coming up about doubling your hourly rate. And guess what that takes? Doubling your integrity, doubling your enjoyment, doubling your honesty, doubling your self-awareness, right? Like, so
doubling your power, man, your value,
power. Yeah.
That's what I said in the free training. So maybe we'll drop a link to that here too, in case anybody sees this and wants to come to that training, that workshop. But I said in that I teach people how to double their hourly rate in 7 days. Like almost every single time I teach this, like people do it. I sent that email out, like 2 people already emailed me, dude, I doubled my rate. So it's like magic, but it's a trick. I'm using the carrot of doubling your rate, and they do to get that, but I'm actually just tricking people into doubling their power, to doubling their impact.
Well,
they're becoming more powerful,
right? Using the world to become something,
right?
Using creating results in the world to become something that you haven't experienced yourself as yet.
Yeah, totally fun. Yeah, so hell yeah,
it is fun. Yeah. So if anyone has questions about coming to the field, you can
let us know.
Any of us a message. Yeah. And you can come and sit in the living room, and I'll walk around the field with you. We can actually be in the field together.
Walk in the field.
Love it.
Pick some oranges.
Yeah. Cool. So do you have a link? Do you want to put up?
Oh yeah. I can just push this button
on the screen.
Dun, 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 boop. Boop. There we go. Just QR code that. You know what I don't know is how the hell you're supposed to QR code it if you're watching it on your phone. So maybe screenshot it and QR, But we'll drop a link in the comments too.
Or
you can just go to wearecreating.com and click on the field.
Yeah.
A live event at the top link.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for hanging, guys. Right. And we'll see you in the field.
See you in the living room field. See ya.
Bye.